Hey guys, welcome to episode 7 of the Motor Marvel podcast. Yeah. So, as you guys, if you didn't realise already, we are now officially sponsored by Hard Hat Watches. So, thanks to the boys for giving us a couple of these to try out. I think Sal's had a little bit of time to mess around with his, but...
So, I did. I've changed my theme on mine.
Wow,
so, I've made it into like a really old school military watch, so I do really like... Look, honestly, I really do like them, and they're very versatile. I've got my screen protector on. Nick hasn't put his on yet.
Haven't even set mine up yet.
But I've been using mine for the last couple of days, and I really, really do love it. It's very versatile. Receives all text messages, text phone calls. And one thing I do really like about the Hard Hat watch is, I like the Apple Watch, which is square. I like the fact that this is round.
Yeah, a bit more traditional.
It's traditional. It looks nice. And I might even upgrade the band. So, who knows?
Sounds good. All right, well, let's
head into the podcast. Sounds
good.
All right, guys. The X-Bow GT-XR, the KTM.
Cool looking car, Sal. Check this thing
out. So, guys, I've been meaning to put this on the podcast for a while now because I just absolutely love what KTM are doing.
Yep.
This thing is absolutely ridiculous. So, if you don't know, KTM is a motorbike brand.
Yeah, initially, right. They've kind of gone out a little bit. Built the, what's the go-kart looking one?
X-Bow.
The X-Bow, right?
Yeah, so they've created a few iterations of their cars. And their original cars of the past, if you've seen Top Gear, is they usually never had any windscreen, any roof. It was just an open cockpit.
Literally, right? That's what's happening. It's a go-kart, but they made it for the road.
Yeah,
right?
It was like a Formula 1 car for the road.
Yeah. But cool cars, amazing on the track.
Amazing on track. But stupid day to day. So there was an episode of Top Gear, I think, where Richard was getting wet because it was raining, and it was as unpractical as dumb, right? But it was a cool thing, but it's kind of a toy for someone that already had heaps of toys.
And look, they were expensive.
They were very expensive.
They were very capable on the track. I know a few people who took them out there and said they were an absolute blast. So they ticked that box, but I think that was about the only box they kind of ticked. Whereas looking at this now...
Well, look, it's a completely different ball game.
It looks like they're ticking all the boxes.
So Nick believes this is more of a supercar competitor, and I kind of agree with him, but it shares the same kind of chemistry or DNA that a Lotus has.
Well, I guess, I think, these guys have kind of been going along that similar path. Track cars and enthusiast cars and, that. And I think, they've just taken that as well. Let's keep it light, let's keep it small, let's keep it nimble. And some of the power figures and weight figures on this.
The engine in this is pretty cool. So, Nick, Nick to scroll down. So, guys, for starters, carbon fibre tub, chassis, everything that you'd expect, lightweight wheels, all that stuff.
Look at this.
Right. It's actually a good-looking car. Let's be honest. It's actually a good-looking car. Yeah. It doesn't look like it's been designed in a wind tunnel. It literally looks cool. It looks unique.
An interesting design. Right?
It looks unique. Yeah. It's not like they've stolen anything. They've come up with their own design, and I give it to them. It looks crazy, and I would love to get my hands on one. So, if you haven't heard already, guys, I know I'm sidetracking here, but Motor Marvel is doing something new now as well. We are starting to interview owners who have cars. So either they've built it, or it's their pride and joy.
Yeah, you've got something cool that's that's a passion or interest of yours. Hit us up as well. We'd love to come and have a chat with you, have a look at your car, and find out a bit more about it.
Yeah, so we got that from the Cars and Coffee event, and we noticed a lot of owners love talking about the cars. And let's be honest, let's embrace it. Let's share it with the world. If you have something really nice, why not share it with everyone else? You know what I mean? It's a pity to have it locked up in the garage and no one else to share it. And funny enough, a lot of owners are very, very open to doing it because they're so passionate about their cars.
Exactly right. You want to share your passion with people. But look, we're getting sidetracked. We can talk about that some more. Let's go back to this thing because this is cool.
Yeah.
Look, as we said, the Audi 2.5 litre 5-cylinder.
Yep.
Pretty.
Nick knows a lot about this because he had an RS3.
Had an RS3, one of these, and they're a pretty fantastic engine. I was a big fan.
Yeah.
So they put that as the heart of this. I think paired with a 7-speed DSG by...
Correct, and I would believe that would just be obviously taken from the Audi, because why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But the power, as we know, you have 368 kilowatts and 581 newton meters of torque. Now, that's not the big figure, right? That power's big, but it's not drastic. Yeah. What's amazing is the weight. It only weighs 1,100 kilos. Now, that is stupid.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty good power-to-weight ratio, right?
That's an insane power-to-weight ratio. So... that's where I say it's kind of similar to a Lotus because this is like the same kind of chemistry.
Correct. They're keeping that exige style of, small, lightweight, give it enough power. I think it's going to be a very capable machine. Yeah. And rear-wheel drive still.
Rear-wheel drive. Yeah. Rear-wheel drive. So they haven't done all-wheel drive, they've done rear-wheel drive. So it would be a handful. It would be, someone experienced would have to
But you're talking a high-performance supercar, you want rear-wheel drive.
Yeah, you want rear-wheel drive.
Look at your Porsches, even your Lotus Exige, rear-wheel drive, they all are. So I think when you're talking from an enthusiast point of view, they're ticking a lot of boxes there.
Well, I would be amazed because that engine, I love that engine. I think it's a glorious engine, right?
Yep.
I feel like with the all-wheel drive system in Audi, I'm not saying the RS3 is bad by any means,
but
what I'm saying is the RS3 was a very easy car to drive.
Yes.
Am I right or am I wrong, right? It's a very easy car to drive. Not that it was a terrible car, it's a very easy car to drive.
They've always been known for that.
Right? It wasn't really exciting to drive. It was fast in a straight line.
Yep.
Where this is going to be, with that engine, in real, it's going to
be a handful.
That's going to be a handful and it's going to keep you on your toes. Yeah. So, excited to see what this actually is like in person.
Yeah, me too.
So
if keep an eye out for it, maybe we'll get our hands on one and give you guys a bit more in depth in it.
Yeah. All right, guys. So another interesting thing that's come on
Look,
on our radar is this from.
A little bit unsure about what's going on here, Sal. But let's have a bit of a chat about it anyway.
It's interesting, nonetheless. Yeah. That's why we've put it on the podcast. And the thing is apparently the third generation Mercedes-Benz CLA would be equipped with a 2-litre turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that we all know that it does have already anyways. But the main thing is it's a joint venture between Geely and Renault. I don't know why.
They've already got a 2-litre turbocharged engine. Already developed.
Yeah.
Already in production.
Yep.
Why? What is its purpose?
Well, we've seen a lot of things happen in Germany lately. So apparently Volkswagen shut down one of their factories and sacked 50,000 people. I think...
Yeah.
Don't mark me if I'm right, guys. I'm just going off what I've heard and seen by sources. There's a factory that's been shut down in Germany. So
yeah, look, I guess the whole industry. I mean, the economy at the moment in general is pretty mediocre, and maybe this is something to do with that. Maybe they're hoping that they can produce a similar engine for a better price that might make their cars more competitive in that range. But looks out to be fair. I feel like that would be a massive negative because we're talking about
German
engineering,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like I agree with you. I don't know if this is completely correct, but there are some weird things happening in the car industry at the moment, especially with deals with China and making cheaper cars and all that. And
I think it's
could it be an economical thing?
I think we'll just have to keep an eye on it and see. I am a bit sceptical. I don't really see what purpose this is serving.
If this is true, this is a bit sad.
I think it's a really big bubble.
What is a big bubble? 100% it's a big bubble. Well, we were already speaking the other day. So Nick's just ordered a Santa Fe calligraphy.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
And we were talking about this. There is no point of buying he has a GLB at the moment.
Yep.
There's no point updating his GLB to the current GLB.
Yeah.
Because...
Well, even when I look at other options around there in, the European market as options, you're spending 120, 150, to get a car of similar.
Yeah.
That's what the Hyundai's doing at 70, 80 grand.
Yeah, and it's ridiculous. And the calligraphy is a bloody awesome car.
I was super impressed when you had one for a review.
Yeah.
I went and looked at it myself, went for a drive, checked the interior. Amazing. I said, why would I spend double the money?
Of course. And that brings me on to actually the car that I have at the moment, which we might as well just speak about.
Yeah, we don't chat about.
I've got the Hyundai i30N Premium, so the top of the line before you go to the full-fledged N.
Yeah,
right?
so the one just below the N.
Yeah. Now, I've had that for about almost 3 days now, and I already, straight away, think it's the best hot hatch on the market today. Now, I know it seems like we're Hyundai fanboys, but...
We are definitely on the Hyundai bandwagon.
But we're on the Hyundai bandwagon.
I think for good reason.
For good reasons.
Yeah.
So, this car, the only one disappointing thing is it's got a 1.5 litre mild hybrid turbo engine now, and it is down on power compared to its predecessor, the 1.6 litre.
Yeah, but look, I think it's probably having a bit more of a difference, right? Yeah. So, if you want the power, you want the support, you go the N. Yeah. For the people that want that, they probably want all the niceties
of the N,
correct,
but don't want the
they don't care about having to have the high performance and the whatever else. So really, they're probably having a bit. I think the differential's actually nicer.
Yeah, but it's a bit disappointing what I'm seeing from what I believe because a lot of people bought the 1.6 because it kind of was a GTI competitor. Yeah, because the N destroys the GTI.
Yeah,
right.
I feel like the N's kind of between the GDI and the R. It's not quite an R, but it's not quite a GDI.
Exactly.
It's sort of an in-between.
It's right in between.
Yeah.
With the 1.6, the original N-Line Premium was quite powerful, about 150 kilowatts.
Yeah, not bad.
And did 0 to 100 in over 7 seconds. So it wasn't actually a slow car.
Yep.
And when you tuned it, it was actually very, very fast.
Yeah, capable.
So it was a great car. I'm not saying this one's terrible, because you could possibly tune it as well. But what I really do like about it, it's the best looking on the outside in the hatch market. I'm sorry, Hyundai's done the best job in terms of design for a little hot hatch, right? It looks aggressive. You got an aggressive front bumper, LED lights that, like, you've seen the new design, guys, the facelifted lights. They're very sharp and they're very angular. That looks awesome. You got side skirts and you got a rear diffuser, real exhaust pipes, and then the interior. It actually feels very special.
Yeah,
you got all the end treatment. You got the end steering wheel, paddles, and gear selector. Beautiful end seats that are a kind of an Alcantara, but they're not. It's probably fake. It's just probably just suede. It's not. It's like an Alcantara-ish. But I get what they're trying to do, right? Yeah. With leather, with red stitching, and it feels special.
Yeah.
You get into the alternatives of the Europeans, and they're just boring.
Yeah.
Like
look, you talk about this all the time, but you go to your base A200s or your A3s, whatever else it has. They're like cloth seats with basic this and no niceties at all, and they're a very basic car.
And they're very basic car.
And then you come here and you go, car, it's probably cheaper than even the base versions of those European cars, and they're more well equipped.
And this is the problem, that Korea's actually doing such a fantastic job with their cars. And Hyundai is just nailing it, right? Yep. But they're not just the only ones nailing it. Toyota's starting to pull their finger out. They're building some pretty cool bloody cars. I think
some of their new cars.
Right?
Yeah, excellent.
But then the other Japanese brands are falling behind. Like Subaru, what the hell happened to them?
Yeah, and I think they've sort of been just slowly falling off. Their last few models and generations of cars have been
absolutely hopeless.
Very medium.
Mitsubishi, on the other hand, same thing.
Yeah.
Honda's proving, when we had Sean on, they're coming back. I feel like they're coming back.
Yeah, I think Honda's trying to be in it.
Yep.
I feel like Mitsubishi's falling off.
Yep. Subaru
fall off. Mazda, I think, still doing a good job.
Mazda's good. I've spoken about this so many times.
Yep.
Mazdas are a great car if you do not care for performance and you want a really classy Japanese car, because they are. They're really nice. Elegant.
Correct. They are elegant. They're luxurious, and again, they come feature packed.
Yeah.
They are a good value for money car with a lot of features and great looking cars.
Yeah.
But you are right. They generally aren't performance cars, right? You know, they haven't had one for a while. When was their last performance car? The Mazda 3 MPS or something. Yeah. You know, like years ago. So, but
just brings me on to another thing, is that you honestly think about the hot hatches in the market today. You don't have many left. Ford pretty much is gone with the ST in Australia.
Yep, that's true.
The Fiesta's disappeared. Like, no one talks about them anymore.
Yep.
The only thing I think that's keeping Ford alive in Australia is the Ford Ranger and Everest. Honestly,
even A45 now is very much more, instead of being a sporty racer boy car like it was when it first came out.
It's stupidly priced now.
It's more expensive, and it's more softer suspension. It's more road going. It's still got the performance engine in it, but it's become more of a daily driver than it has become a sort of hot hatch, I would say.
And then BMW have really thrown it out of the... Look, I'm a BMW fanboy, so is Nick.
Yep.
But what I personally think was sad with BMW is BMW had something that no one else had. They had a rear-wheel drive hatchback.
You've always been a huge fan of it.
And the straight six, turbo, they had a beautiful combination there. They had something that no one else had done.
Yeah.
Right? I had a 130i, naturally aspirated, straight six, rear wheel drive. It was awesome. Manual gearbox. Loved it, right? That was the first ever iteration of that.
Yep.
But then they just decided to go front wheel drive. And even with their all-wheel drive, it's front wheel drive bias all-wheel drive system with a 2-litre 4-cylinder petrol. And it's not the 4-cylinder petrol that I have a problem with. It's the fact that they went front wheel drive and all-wheel drive. They got rid of the rear wheel drive. That is BMW's. That's what a BMW is. It's rear-wheel drive.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they focused on other areas to do that with. But I do think maybe it's a missed opportunity that they didn't keep that going. But
this, on the other hand, so we diverged completely away from this, but who knows if this is correct. We'll do some more research on this. Yeah. But I saw this come up. I wanted to put on the podcast. I wanted to see what you guys think. It could, if that is the case, like Nick said, that's a bit of a...
I'm calling it a bit of bullshit because it doesn't make a lot of sense to me at the moment, but...
Who knows?
Unless it's... Like
especially what's happening in the world these days, you don't know if this could just be correct and they're just trying to save money.
Yep.
Because at the end of the day, this is the bottom of the range of the Mercedes, and if they're just trying to save money, why not?
Yeah.
Like, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I kind of get it from a business point of view. Then you can spend money on other products down the line?
I feel like it's just, you know, the thing Mercedes have going for them is the German engineering.
That is true.
And the minute you take it away, why would you buy one?
Yeah, that's a good point.
All right, so Sal, one thing here that I saw this week, which is, I guess, interesting, but also concerning.
Which brings me on to the last thing we were speaking about.
Yeah, look, you know, we've got Aston Martin here talking about losing about $1 million a month or so on just running and production, and they've decided to, I think, cut some production and pull things down and whatnot because I guess obviously it's not going so well. I mean, I don't really know all the reasonings behind it, but I guess it's, you know, their sales forecasting is what I did see that was they're not selling as many vehicles.
Right here, they cut in production of around 1,000 cars for a year.
Yeah, I did read when I was having a look at this the other day, Sal, it was some of their SUVs, you saw the new Aston Martin SUV, I think they were selling a fair few and it's dropped off a fair bit to China. And so their sales over there decreased.
Wow.
But I think I saw about 44% of their SUV, and I think that's hit them quite significantly in revenue and sales of vehicles.
I've heard this actually a lot of Chinese, so a lot of European manufacturers that built cars specifically for China are really struggling with selling them now.
Yeah, well, it seems to be. Well, I guess, you know, with China picking up on their car production and different offerings and vehicles.
Which makes you think, do you think that they're actually just producing what I think has probably happened, because I don't know if this is true, right?
Your speculation.
I'm speculating here.
Yep.
Is they've probably taken most of these cars in, grabbed them, like what they've done back in the day with products that
reverse engineered.
And they're reverse engineering it because they're building cars. And we were talking about this the other day. It's a touchy subject. But they're building cars that are cheaper.
Yep.
And not that far from what the original was.
Yep.
And it's scary.
Yeah, and we do mention it all the time, but, you know, at the end of the day, why would you want it? You want an end product for a good price.
Yeah.
And if you're looking at the options and you can get a very similar product for half the price, I know what you're going to do, right?
Yeah, of course
you're going to do it all day, every day.
100% you are.
It's a hard one to look at, but it's also sad here. We've got Aston Martin, a fantastic company and manufacturer.
And we love their cars.
Love their cars. They're invested, like we're talking about in the other podcast, in so many motorsport categories across the world. I really hope that
someone saves them.
Look, I think from my understanding, there's a bit of Saudi money there that's been helping them out for a little while. Hopefully it keeps helping them out and they can turn things around.
And hopefully they can do something.
Yeah, but look, I think it's just tough times at the moment, mate. It appears to be hitting a few big names around that it's tough.
Right. Sad, guys, but hopefully someone does pull Aston out of the dumps and bring them back, because we do really love their cars. And this is a shame. This is really sad.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of that episode when Jeremy is driving the Aston through the Alps, through the mountains, and he talks about how they're dying, the V12, the V12 engine's dying, these cars are dying, and it's actually, some of these cars are disappearing.
Definitely.
Which is really sad.
It is, but look, sign of the times, mate. Things are changing. We'll just have to see how it goes.
Which brings us on to the next thing that we're going to talk about. So let's do that. And this is what I'm talking about. So this is a mobile phone company that has built an electric car that has absolutely demolished the Nürburgring time.
Yes.
So let's just slide across, Nick, and show everyone what this is. Go across again. So for starters, 0 to 100 in 1.9 seconds, 0 to 200 in 5.9 seconds, and a top speed of 350 kilometers an hour, and it weighs 1,900 kilograms. That's 1,900 kilograms for an electric car. That is ridiculous.
Over 1,500 horsepower. Okay.
And I don't know how to pronounce the mobile phone's name. Xiaomi?
Xiaomi? I think it's Xiaomi.
Xiaomi, yeah. They're a mobile phone company that have made an electric hyper sedan.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a super sedan, that is a hyper sedan.
Yeah, that's
making
crazy.
that much power, I'll classify that as a hyper sedan. That is just absolutely ridiculous. Look.
Yep.
Now, you probably all think that I hate electric cars, like everyone thinks that I do, but I actually, there are certain cars that I do really appreciate that are electric.
You know why you don't hate this one?
It's because...
Look at it.
Yeah,
it's a high performance, impressive 1,500 horsepower weapon of a car.
And it looks cool. Look, let me clear the air, because a lot of people think I hate electric cars.
No, but I don't think you hate them, Sal.
Because I've had the Ioniq 5N.
Yeah.
And I absolutely loved that car.
Yeah.
And again, I don't want to be jumping on Hyundai's bandwagon, but the reason why I like that so much is because Hyundai grabbed an electric car and threw everything at it to make it have characteristics. It honestly felt like I was playing a video game. It reminded me of my childhood. It was so much fun. The noises, the buzzers. It was engaging. It was so engaging. The problem with electric cars that I've driven in the past is that just there's nothing there. Yeah. Do you know? And I get it, and I've come to the realization they have a place, because if you're someone who just doesn't care about cars and you want to get from A to B, so be it.
Yep.
If that means that you buy that and we can still enjoy our cars...
Look, I think that's the biggest distinction, right? Is I'm happy for them to be there. They definitely have their place.
Yeah.
As long as we're not talking about replacing everything with
Correct. Correct.
And I think that's the realization.
And I think I've come to that realization now. But I'm not saying that electric cars can't be fun. There are some electric cars that can give you the same...
Look, I think just like there can be some electric cars that can be fun, there can be some Russian-powered cars
boring as hell
that are very not fun. Yeah. So, you know, I think...
It's both ways. But
we're getting the best of both worlds. You know, you pick what you want for your purpose.
Correct. And this thing, that's just dumb. Like, that is stupid.
Yeah.
Like, the most surprising thing about this is its weight. That weight is ridiculous for an electric car. Electric cars, as we know, are heavy. They usually weigh
a lot.
Ginormous amount of weight.
Yeah.
Weighs 1,900 kilograms. That is stupid. And 1.9 seconds. That is quick.
Yeah. Well, interesting. So
I just love how they wrote 1.97 seconds.
Yeah.
It's practically 2 seconds.
But still. If you could do under 2 seconds and claim
of course, and claim it. Yeah, you'd claim it. 100% you'd claim it. It's like winning that little bit more. You're still going to claim it because you still won. You
still did
technically.
You still did it.
So this is like we were saying before. This is what China's doing. They're building things that they're starting to realize, and I don't know. It's getting scary.
Yep. We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah. Anyways, let's get on to the next thing. Because the next thing, slide across, and we'll go on to the next thing.
Yep.
The final thing, guys, which is pretty exciting from Mercedes. We've seen some not so exciting things come from Mercedes of late.
Yeah, I would say it's been a little boring.
It's been a bit boring.
Yep.
This, on the other hand, gives us hope. Yep. So, Mercedes has released this silhouette of a SUV entirely made in-house. But Nick made a very good point before this. What does that mean? Does that mean all their other SUVs were kind of shared from other automakers?
Yeah, you know, we obviously know with the Audis and the Volkswagen.
Yeah, they all share parts.
Correct, there's a lot of share between there.
Yeah.
But Mercedes, I
didn't think they did.
No, I wasn't really understanding of what...
Unless, because this is an AMG, it's a completely AMG-made SUV.
It's true, because it does say for the first time Mercedes AMG.
G.
So
it could be like BMW with the XM.
Yeah, it could be a full AMG in-house built from ground up.
Ground AMG.
Instead of taking a Mercedes.
GLS, GLE, yeah, and then just rebuilding it.
It's a good point. I think you're probably right.
So, but this is exciting because, like we've just said, AMG have not been that exciting of late.
No. And look, I think if they're going to build something up, and maybe it is going to be like an XM kind of deal/competitor, you know, in that, whether it's electric or not, I guess we'll soon find out. That's going to be exciting. I'm keen for something like that. I'd like to see what AMG can do with it.
Do you think it's the wrong time to enter the market now? As we were just saying before previously, that four-wheel drives, like high-performance SUVs are struggling?
Yeah, but maybe it's not going to be.
Because let's be honest, the only one that's probably doing well at the moment is the Urus.
Yeah.
The G-Wagon, which you wouldn't really call a high-performance SUV. It's pretty much a brick with a big engine.
But
right?
It sells.
It sells hard, right? So the Urus, G-Wagon, the Bentayga doesn't do too bad.
Yep.
But like the XM, they're stopping that.
Yeah.
The Aston we just saw, they're stopping that.
Hopefully it's not going to be electric.
I reckon they'll shoot themselves in the foot if they do.
I think they will.
They'll shoot themselves in the foot.
Correct. I'm not saying it because against electrics. No. I'm just saying I don't think that's the right car.
To put an electric
motor.
100%.
In the current climate and market we're in now.
And especially they should learn from their mistake with the C63. Yeah. So this better have a big V8 in it.
Yeah.
Otherwise it will fail.
Yep. I agree. Well, look, did you see, I saw a post a little bit off topic but similar, that Porsche has decided with a whole bunch of their electric vehicles they were doing. So
they're not doing them anymore.
That they're going to start offering petrol alternatives in the same models, but electric.
And I think where they realised that is especially with the Cayman and the Boxer.
Yeah.
Because they went, we're going to make them full electric. And to be fair, if you look at Porsche's market and most of their people buy cars, they buy Caymans and Boxers. The top tier 911s, yes, people buy them, but that's not everyone, because not everyone can afford that.
Yep.
So when people want to buy a Porsche, they go, well, I can't afford a 911, but I'll buy a Cayman, because Caymans make brilliant cars still.
Exactly.
And now they go, oh, they're electric.
Yeah, they won't sell them.
They won't sell them.
Yeah.
No, so I think that's why they've taken a step back.
Yeah, and I think, again, sign of what's happening at the moment with the change, I think there has become some realisation that...
Like, the Taycan's a great car.
Oh.
I've been in one.
Yeah.
I think it's a great car.
Yep.
And that has its place. That was built to be an electric car.
Yep.
So it wasn't a petrol car converted to an electric car.
Correct. Yep.
So that still has its place.
Yep.
And it's still a great car.
Yep.
But changing cars that were drivers' cars into a full electric car, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot.
Now they're giving the options, right?
Yeah.
So I think good step. Let's see how we go with this thing. Let's hope it's, again, not. But interested to see what they come out with. But it's exciting. If AMG are going to build something up, see what they can
Fingers crossed they do something more.
Yeah.
Other than that, guys, that is it for episode 7.
Yep.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks, guys.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, and just follow our channel for more car news and reviews.
Yep.
And our Instagram page for other content as well.
Yeah, we've got some exciting news coming up. So we have another special guest joining us next week. So yeah, looking forward to that. So stay tuned, guys, and make sure you watch.
Yep. And just one more last thing, we are getting the i30N proper N.
Proper N. Yep.
For a track day, so stay tuned because that is going to be some exciting content.
Yeah, we're going to have some footage out at the track.
Yep.
We're going to have some reviews from Sal and myself.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of good content there. So yeah, keep a watch out and hope you enjoy it.
Catch you soon.
Thanks, guys.